Well, that had to have been the worst intro in the history of Smallmouth Crush Live. What's up, guys? Good show tonight. I got a rant for a little bit. I can. You know why? Because E to the G, Epic Eric, is watching remotely from his summer home down in the Carolinas. He's got a barbecue to do tonight. And he said, Travis, you can handle it. Well, I'm only 6 minutes late for one, which isn't too bad. But I'll tell you what, it's been an interesting day for me. I'm already heated up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go off the edge here. I was on the phone with Bass Pro Shop for over 4 hours today, dealing with some stuff. I had 3 guide trips. I haven't lost a trip all year, except for ones I had to cancel in April. In my Ontario trips, I had a guy cancel 3 days, and then I just had a one-day trip get canceled, which isn't a big deal, but it's like, come on. Not going to deal with that tomorrow. All kinds of crazy stuff. And then I got my butt kicked in the Ike Foundation tournament on the Chesapeake Bay. I'm a guide. I fish there every day. And I made the worst call of my life. We're going to get into it all tonight. And my buddy, the guy, the video almost has 5,000 views from yesterday, a tournament I fished with my buddy Tom Nee a few weeks back. That's up on the YouTube channel. I got these fruit flies going crazy here in this garage. It's 85 degrees as we speak. And do I dare turn the fan on? No, because then you guys will be pissing and moaning about the volume and the noise in the background. Oh. And on top of that, I don't even want to say it. Ike Live, or no, Bass University decided to go live on Tuesday nights. And they have Brian Schmidt on as we speak. So do you want to hear Brian Schmidt talk about grass, or do you want to hear about Tom Nee talk about grass fishing? I want to hear what Tom Nee has to say. So we're going to bring him in right now. What's up there, Tom? Congratulations, first of all. Big deal, dude. Big deal. You're speechless. Yes, there's a delay. You're on, I promise you. Well, you were a big part as far as running ideas past me, things like that. And a lot of them, they're great ideas. I just have not been able to capitalize on the ideas just yet. But I hope to soon. Jamie Newton. So can you read the comments? We got some comments rolling in right now. Jamie Newton goes, 12 pounds, what's up? We're going to get into that because I think I coined the nickname 12-pound Tom Nee in the past. And no, your audio's fine. What? Okay, can you figure out your... Why can't they... Hold on, let me see. No issues when he was on Ike Live. Is there anything you can do on your end? Any mute button? Okay. Can't hear. I can't hear you now. Tom is muted. Why is that? It shouldn't be that hard. BTC wouldn't let this happen. Alright guys, hang on. Is your microphone? Is your microphone? Oh man. Oh my gosh. Not muted, but barely coming through. Why don't I just recall you and we'll try? No, you're loud, dude. It's your microphone volume on your computer. Okay. I can hear you. Yes. Yes. He doesn't want to say the secret bait. Give him a little bit. Audience are on about a 30-second delay. Can anyone hear Schmidt? Turn myself down. That ain't gonna help. I'll just, it's the producer. Okay, here's what we'll do. Let me call you right back. And let's see if this works, alright? Alright. These comments. How would I rate this Skype? A 0? Man. What could be the issue? Mike. Yeti microphone. Oh, now we're just froze on my end? Oh. Webcam. All right, let's call Tom back. All right, so we're going to let you, just give me a second here, Tom. We'll I'll wait till you jump on here. All right, guys. Now I can hear myself in your computer. Yeah, so put your earphones in. That way I can't hear the background noise.
How about now?
You're good.
How about we gotta wait for the audience, man. Yep. I need to know if my audio is working.
Give them 30 seconds. Fire the producer. Damn, it's hot in this garage, dude.
It's got to be working. We're fucking good.
All right, they say we're good. Let's get an intro restart. I like that plan. We're starting this whole thing over. Is it working? I love this song. All right, there's the intro. Redid it. Everything's good. I think I just had to restart it. I suck at computers. In fact, earlier tonight, Tom was like, "Are we doing Skype?" I go, "Hey, can we Skype?" And you're like, "I guess I got to download the app." I think Skype is done, dude. I need to get on the Zoom program. I still hear some background music though.
Dude, that might have been me, bro. Mm-hmm. I was watching you live at the same time while we were on delay.
Okay. Well, I'm glad everything's working.
All right, cool. So should I get back to where I was, talking about how fucking excited I was to get on Smallmouth Crush for the very first time? Like, I gotta win like the Bassmaster Classic in order to get on this show, man. It's like the hottest thing going.
First of all, you have been on the YouTube videos plenty of times. In fact, your dad even gave everybody a tip about the perfect pair of scissors to cut braid. So don't give me that shit.
Dude, you should be talking to him right now about the perfect way to swim a jig.
Yeah, was he... we got to get into all that because I'll tell you what, man. Let me set the stage for you guys for this tournament. Number one, I fished with a gentleman named Mike Powers. And I didn't know the guy from Adam. And I know he fished with Eric last year. Greg Del Palma, him and Eric fished on the Delaware and took like third place or something with 10 pounds. And so originally it was 3 people to the boat. And everything was good. Life was good. That's what the plan was. And then all of a sudden they said 2 people. And then Eric's like, dude, we got a problem. I'm like, oh, man. So turns out Eric had obligations anyway, so I'm going to fish with Mike. Not a big deal, but I'll be honest with you. I did not. It's for a boat, dude. You don't get to fish for a boat too often. And I did not take. I didn't take the tournament as hardcore as, say, an open or something else. You know what I mean? I got too comfortable, I think. Because I literally fished the Chesapeake Bay every day. Every day. Not every day. Every day. Okay? And I saw as the week progressed, especially last week, how the bite on the flats just died. To the point where I was like, it's not going to happen. If I want to win this tournament, I'm not in for points. I'm not in for 5th place. I'm not in here for 10th. If I'm going to win the tournament, I need to just hit the panic button, and that's what I do. And oftentimes it's because the flats is blown out, it's dirty, it's muddy, shit happens. And I run south. I run very far south. South is pretty much anyone goes. And every time I've ran south, it's been great. You know, I was able to capitalize on running south. Now, I don't practice down there. I don't deal with it unless I'm in a tournament. And so that morning, that night, Mike and I was talking to him about the game plan, and I'm like, it's not going to happen. There's no way we're going to catch him on the flats. I'm running south. I don't care. It is what it is. We'll go down there. Well, 12:30, 1 o'clock rolls around. I have 0 fish. First of all, we had terrible tide, and an experienced tidal water fisherman should have taken that into consideration, but...
Travis, I got to tell you, man, this story is really awesome. Like, this is probably why everybody tuned in.
Okay. About why I sucked?
Yeah, man, keep going, man. Tell us more.
I can end it right now, Tom. I came back to the flats. I set down 50 yards to where you were fishing, and we started catching them. It just was too little, too late. And, you know, in that late afternoon, we hear somebody yelling at me, and my co-angler goes, I think they're saying something to you. And I look, I'm like, yeah, people say shit to me all the time. I have no idea. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know. Yeah, I know your boat's a Ranger and it's black, but there's a lot of dark Rangers, right?
You didn't hear what I was saying?
No.
Gunpowder! Was that too loud?
No, it's perfect.
No, I was chanting. I was just happy to see you, man. I knew there was fish up there on the flat, and I had no idea where the hell you were going. But I was pretty thrilled to see you back where there was actually some fish to catch.
I was disappeared all day long, man, doing my thing.
Yeah.
But I came back just in time, I guess.
Yeah, man, dude. You came back right when it started getting pretty hot for us. I mean, we really started to lighten it up. But, dude, I'm thrilled to be on this show. How many viewers? 250 people.
That's it.
You know, I did share it with my friends. Maybe I need more friends.
Maybe.
No, it's cool, man. So this is your show. Walk me through it, man. I'm not a producer.
No, listen. First of all,
earlier, but let's get into it.
Well, okay. So obviously, I had a terrible time doing my thing. I had a blast. fishing with Mike. It was a very good time. I said, hey, listen, if they have three boaters next year, I'd love to fish with you again. And I felt bad about going down there. I felt bad about the decision because, and I felt like it was going to be a tough bite because nobody around me. I know you were there, but there was a couple other boats a little bit closer to me, and I didn't see them catch a fish. And my buddy Mike put on this really weird colored Senko, and like jacked a couple good ones quick. And first of all, I was like, well, that's a unique color you chose. And then I was like, we're the only ones catching fish right now. It's gonna suck. I don't care what happens today. I had to do what I had to do. And so before I get into how you did it, I want to share a quick story, guys, because I get back to the ramp, and Riz is there on the dock. I go, how'd you do, Riz? He's like, 18. It's not going to do shit. And I'm like, oh, it's getting late. It's raining. I'm like, do you want to weigh these fish in or not? And he's like, screw it. I'm like, we probably got 15 pounds, which is what we had. So I go over to the dock to put my boat in, and I go, let's just weigh them real quick. So I put them all in the weighing bag, and that's what we had. So I'm like, you sure, dude? Because if you want to go get a picture with Ike, you're more than welcome to. We'll go do it. You know, I was just messing around. So we're like, no, screw it. We dumped them back in. Away I go. I'm heading home, right? I'm like, God, I should call Tom. You know, I want to know how Tom, I just want to say hi. And I figured Tom had his 12 pounds, right? And dude, I don't know. I will never forget this phone call because I'm on Highway 95 heading back home. Tom answers his phone on the first ring. I go, and just jokingly, I go, did you win? Remember that? I go, did you win?
Yeah, no, I remember it pretty vividly.
I go, did you win? And Tom's like, I think so. And then just how guys are, I start talking about my day and how I sucked dick and it just sucked. And then like 30, 40 seconds in the conversation, I go, so are you on the road? I'm like, where are you at? He's like, I'm still here. I'm like, fuck, dude, it's like 5 o'clock. Like, what are you doing there? I won. I go, get out of here, dude. I couldn't believe it, right? You had to convince me for 2-3 minutes that you won.
Yeah, you know what? I appreciate all the confidence that you have in me, man. And, it really came out in that conversation. But I got to tell you, you were not the only one, dude. I happened to talk to your buddy Ryan Bauman a few minutes later.
Sure.
Or a few minutes before that call. And he was like, dude, I'm going to need to see some evidence before I believe that shit. So, we definitely shocked ourselves. We shocked a lot of other people with the bag that we brought in. Everybody's suspecting this to be a post-spawn fishing event. Practice was terrible for me. I can't say that I heard people were crushing them in practice. So to catch what we caught, 24.5 pounds, it was not out there leading up to the tournament. It was nothing that I ever thought we were going to sink our teeth into. So,
right.
We were all surprised, including you, obviously.
I was, man, but I was probably, if I could name someone to win, I was glad you won. I've never been more excited for somebody else winning ever. Like, I was smiling, dude, all the way home, like super pumped. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just because I know you so well. You know what I mean? It was emotional for me. Like, seriously. Like, I was like jacked up for you. So, congratulations.
Thanks,
like, that's a huge freaking deal. And I'm proud of you, dude. Seriously.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. I know you're sincere when you say it this time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But it was still funny because I was like, God, how'd you do it? I'm asking you all these questions, and you're like, oh, man, that was so crazy.
Yeah.
So walk me. Yeah.
We got 265 people that want to know how that happened.
Exactly. So walk me through the day. I know I met you. We talked real briefly in the morning, and I just hey.
Wait. I know exactly what I said. Hang on a second. I said, yo, Travis, you got any of those smallmouth crush buffs?
Yes.
And you're like, no, not on me, bro, but I'll hook you up.
Yes.
And then I had all these pictures taken of me, and I'm like wearing all this smallmouth crush gear. Hey, by the way, before we get into the details, I figured maybe after this you want to renegotiate the contract.
Yeah, I think so. I think you deserve something. Absolutely. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. So, walk me through it.
Yeah, all right. So
the morning of the tournament, I'll let you talk, man. Go for it.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so this is the craziest thing. I talked to you right there, right before the tournament. Say good luck, man. I jump back in my boat, and we're boat 105. We got time. So I'm sitting there, and I'm sitting there next to my dad, and it's Father's Day weekend, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a selfie. I'm gonna take a selfie of me and my dad fishing this tournament. It's it's not often you get to fish with your dad, and on Father's Day weekend, why not, right? So pop a quick selfie, stick it on Facebook, write something like "time to win a boat." Move on, right? Wait for our boat number. We get called. First spot we hit, it was I actually stopped on some transition stuff out front. So I was thinking post-spawn like a lot of other people. And, in practice, I was able to pick up some fish post-spawn. And what I was thinking about was I got to find a way to get like 18, 19, 20 pounds would probably win this tournament. So first spot we stopped on, actually broke one off on a Cinco in some eelgrass on some transition stuff. And that was just not, that did not set the tone for a winning tournament right there. I mean, you're just disappointed. You're 45 minutes into fishing a spot. You busted one off. You're not putting anything in the boat. And, like you, I had my doubts about the flat. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's get out there. I know we can at least put a limit in the boat. There's a bunch of 2.5 pounders out there. We got to get something going before we start fishing for some bigger fish. So that's what we did. We ran right out to the flat, and it was a complete zoo. It was boats galore, man. If there were 140 boats in that tournament, there were 100 on the flat.
Sure.
And when you think about the flat, there are typically your common grass spots where you'll get your early grass, and fortunately or unfortunately, fortunately for me, though every other boat congregated to those GPS waypoints where that grass comes up first.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we are in mid to late June, and there's grass everywhere on the flat. I mean, you and I were fishing that tournament just a couple weeks ago, and we started seeing more of that emerging grass coming up in other parts of the flat. So I had my marks, but everybody else was on those marks, and you're talking about 100 boats fishing a pretty small area. So I just forced myself to like go out there and fish things that I've never fished before. So I went looking for some good hard bottom with some grass, maybe some mixed in eel grass, things that we would typically catch fish on. Mm-hmm. And then as it pertained to baits, I mean, I had a ton of rods on the deck. I mean, I was not dialed into anything leading into this tournament. So definitely fished the moment. I moved on. I found some fish in a very small grass area that I had pretty much all to myself. We had another boat or two over there, and at the time it was an incoming tide. So when you're out on the flat, I mean, people typically prefer an outgoing tide where you can really catch the fish when that water's dropping. You can really position your boat into some sort of a ditch area. You can play off of that, maybe some fish movement. But we had that incoming tide all morning, and those moving baits and that boat positioning was so much tougher because those fish can really get out there and move into the shallower areas. So ended up getting a couple bites, lost a couple fish on a chatterbait. Ended up picking one up on a swim jig out of the gate, but I couldn't get that working really much at all on that incoming tide. So what we did is we ended up just doing what anybody else would do. We chucked a Cinco. And there was nothing to it. It was a Texas rig Cinco, green pumpkin.
Yep.
And I would imagine everybody else had them tied on. And we started.
Everybody. That's the crazy thing. For the most part, green pumpkin, Senko on the grass flats, you can't go wrong. You know.
Oh, you can't. I mean, it's. I mean, it sounds so simple, but it's not, because you got to find the fish 1st, and unfortunately, you had to cover a lot of water where we didn't have marks, so we ended up finding some fish. Fortunately, we were able to actually pick up a 5-pounder on a Senko on that incoming tide.
Sure.
But that was the only real good fish that we had, and we probably had by 9:30 about 16 pounds in the boat, and we felt really good. We knew that, well, put it this way, we didn't know anything, to be completely honest with you, but we knew that there was a good shot of us calling up, getting closer to 18, 19 pounds, which could be a winning bag for what was a pretty tough practice.
I honestly thought that's what I was dead wrong in the weights that it would take for this event. I really thought 18, 19 pounds would get it done, based on how it was fishing all week. And I know you went out there and practiced, and you probably saw how pathetic it got. So.
I did. Yeah, so we had pretty low expectations, or at least expectations of 19 to 20 to really come in feeling good about showing up with a decent place. We never thought we'd win a boat. So as the morning went on, it got a little tougher. You can probably remember it was hot as hell, humid. There was no breeze. I mean, it was slick calm out there on a high tide, and I got to tell you, that was probably 2 or 3 hours without a whole lot of fish activity. Was pretty tough. But we moved on. I mean, we just kept moving the boat. We kept getting into new areas, looking for newer, unmolested fish. I mean, we didn't want to be anywhere near another boat. Was really the game plan out on the flat. So I would say the biggest game changer for us is that storm that was rolling in from the south.
Yes.
This is really where we made some really key decisions here that really made a difference for the whole tournament. So we moved, and funny enough, the tide at the time started going out. So high tide was right around 10 o'clock. And as that tide snapped and turned, we picked up and we actually moved closer to the crowds. But we stayed away from the crowd. So we weren't fishing that main ditch early in the morning, but we ended up moving over there where all those other boats were. But we stayed at least 500 yards away from the nearest boat. And what we were keying in on was sandy bottom, milfoil with a little bit of eelgrass, and we started chucking those moving baits when that storm started rolling in. So we picked up some wind, which was key. You went from slick calm to getting some wind. With that barometer dropping, those fish started chewing, and the big fish started chewing. So probably from 1 o'clock on, we were able to pull out our big fish baits, your chatter baits, your swim jigs, and we were keying in on that low tide, and all of it worked together. Because I'll tell you honestly, I think the biggest thing for us, everybody was doing it. Everybody was out in the ditch somewhere trying to benefit from a lower tide. We did the same exact thing, except we stayed off the trolling motor. What we did is we used that wind that was coming out of the southeast to push us along a ledge quietly, long cast with these chatter baits and swim jigs, and we would literally just snap it and pop it through the grass. And the longer the cast, the better chance it was for a 5-pounder. So that was really the deal. And from 1 o'clock, and we had a late flight too. So we were flight 11, boat 105. We weren't due back until 4 o'clock. So we took advantage of every second of that outgoing tide.
Sure.
And we just hammered them, man. And I'll tell you, my dad locked into one probably closer to 1:30 or 2 o'clock, and that thing jumped out of the water. And I was like, dude, you have got to get that thing in the boat, man. That is a monster. And we legitimately just, got on the big motor, got back around, pulled the same wind drift again, long casts, looking for that hard bottom, milfoil mixed in with some eelgrass, and we just repeated that same drift,
Sure.
if you want to call it.
I remember because that was about the time you were screaming at me, and I took notice because at one point I looked over and there was two people in the back by the live wells with their poles down, and I instantly thought about the last tournament you and I fished together. How you had a little bit of learning to do when it comes to calling, and I remember you guys.
Oh, you want to talk about that? Okay.
I mean, I just saw you guys in the back of the boat for quite a while, and I was like, huh, it looks like Tom. He must be calling up a 2.5 pounder there. It's taken an awful while, though.
Dude, you know what? Let's get right into that. So we caught probably our 4th 5-pounder.
Wow.
And it's probably, and we had a couple over 5, but let's just say, we're looking at them. And, oh, by the way, Travis, thanks for all the instructions on the Rapala scale on the last tournament, because I still don't remember how to use it. So, getting to the point of calling, here's what we did. This is actually kind of screwed up. So, we caught our 4th 5-pounder. We pull out the 4-pounder and we throw it back.
Uh-huh.
And we're like, man, we really got to figure out which one of these giant fish are our smallest fish, because if we lock into another one, we got to be ready.
Sure.
So we put the poles down and we start pulling the fish out, and sure enough, what's in the back? A 2.5 pounder.
Come on.
Launched the 4-pounder, got a 2.5 here. I'm like, dude.
Whoa, how did that make you feel, dude?
Oh man,
What?
funny enough, we kept our shit together.
Uh-huh.
We absolutely did, man. Like, I got to tell you, like, it went through my head like we could have just lost a boat, man. And I got to tell you, like, it was not 10 minutes later. We caught a 3.5. We culled that 2.5 out, and that ended up being our smallest fish. So we probably needed that fish, to be honest with you, to win that last one that we pulled in. That was a little over 3.
Wow. So you would have had a bigger bag?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. It was definitely the craziest day fishing with my dad, for sure. The biggest bag we've ever weighed in our lives. And we caught him doing what we love to do on moving baits. And to do it in this caliber of tournament, to win on Father's Day, I'll never forget this, man. Like, it was pretty emotional for us. I held the tears back, man, but I got to tell you, like, this is a lifetime memory that a lot of people get to experience, and to do this with my father on Father's Day weekend was just truly incredible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, man. So a lot of lunkers and lures. So I always ask our guests, if you had one bait, what bait would you identify as?
Kind of question is that?
Just what would you identify as a bait? If you could be one bait, what would it be?
Can you elaborate on this a little bit? Like,
so for me, it would be a DT6. I identify as a DT6. Now, whether it's because I like to throw a DT6, I have success, I have confidence in the bait, it could be anything. Let's just say, if you were a bait, what would it be, Tom?
I'd be a chatterbait.
A chatterbait. Fair enough. Any particular color?
I would be, yes.
What color?
Bee height delight.
Okay, little chartreuse in you. Now, would you get upset if somebody put a grub on you, or a Zacco, or a swimming Cinco? Like, what would you prefer as a trailer?
Zacco.
Okay, gotcha. Boot tail or the split tail?
No, it's got to be the split tail.
Okay, fair enough. And in honor, in case you guys are wondering where Epic Eric is,
nobody was wondering that, dude. They want to know what color swim jig I was throwing.
Yes.
That's what they want to know. That's what they came here for.
What color swim jig? Be careful with that answer, but go ahead.
Why?
I don't know. We share everything here, so go ahead.
No, we absolutely do. I think. And let me tell you something. You know, I want to give you a little history lesson on me and smallmouth crushing this channel.
Okay.
So, I don't know how long ago I started watching your videos, but I remember probably one of the first videos that I watched. I was watching a drop shot video. And I kid you not, man, like you were bitching about the owner mosquitoes not working and you were looking for a better hook and you came up with all these bullshit baits that you tried to sell everybody on, and we all went out and bought them.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, man, like that video for me, I was going up north. I was going to be catching some smallmouth, and I legitimately stopped that video. I took notes. I paid attention, and I was a co-angler, and I smoked him one day, man. My boater was not a happy camper, man. He was netting my smallmouth fish, and I think he caught legitimately one fish that day, and I was calling all day.
Really?
Yeah, with your setup, like your video
a June bug
setup.
Crankbait?
What's that?
A June bug crankbait?
No, dude, drop shotting.
Oh, okay. What was the bait of choice?
It was a Gajo Spirit Shad, man. Green pumpkin, blue highlight.
That is the deal.
Yeah, so I lit it up there on the St. Lawrence by watching your video, and I've been watching your videos ever since, and I just haven't come across one that was really helpful. All right, but let me get into some baits because I think this is pretty important.
Please do. If you don't mind, can we bring on a special guest real quick? I know we got one here in the.
They're chanting for Eric.
No,
I hope it's Eric.
It's not Eric. It's not Eric. Do you know Jimmy Big Time?
Hell yeah. Who doesn't?
We're gonna bring him on real quick. And then we're going to hear all about the baits. He just sent me a text, now or never, bro. As I'm calling him, no answer, I see.
Travis, was there anything in the chat?
Yes, there's a lot of shit, dude. I'm trying to keep up.
Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy!
What's up, buddy?
Hey, you know Tom won the tournament last weekend, Jimmy.
I'm totally excited for him. Seriously, I'm proud of him.
Hey, Jimmy, you in the market for a boat?
Listen, well, my next question to you was, are you going to fish out of that cat and sell the Ranger?
Yeah, it's a beautiful boat, man. I got to tell you, it's not everybody's color, but that purple boat is a big deal to the Ike Foundation. And I had a chance to go through it with my dad the other day, and it's a beauty, man. I mean, they made a really nice boat, man. That bass cap Margay is pretty sweet. So,
is it ready to go, fishing ready, or just a basic boat, or?
Yeah, it's pretty basic. We got to stick some batteries in it and a trolling motor and some graphs on it, but it's pretty nice, man. They did a good job with that boat, and it's got a pretty wide beam on it too, so a lot of fishability. I mean, we were pretty impressed with it.
What's it, 18 or 19? How big is it?
It's a 17.
Okay.
Wow.
That's great.
18.
You'll be able to sell that. You're going to sell it, right? Obviously.
Yeah, we're thinking about it. We're talking about, we're probably going to sell it. We don't know if we're going to rig it up first. Yeah. Try to doll it up, make it more enticing for somebody to have it turnkey ready, but we're kicking it around. But if anybody out there is interested, it's pretty sexy looking boat too. It's purple. If you're into that, man, it's I'd say I don't know, man. I'm kind of thinking about keeping it, but I gotta sell it. There's no need for me to have to.
It's got some sentimental value already.
Man, does it? Yeah,
it does.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
so
what?
I got, huh?
I'm just saying, if anyone wants to get a hold of you, Tom, about the boat, any questions, what's a good way? Instagram?
Yeah, sure.
And what would be that?
Underscore Nee underscore.
Yep. Tom underscore Nee underscore?
That's it, man.
That's it. There you go. It's in the comments.
Look at all these nice people on there.
Yeah, we got a hell of a crowd. They want to hear more about. They want. Listen.
I came up with the quote of the week.
Okay. What's
and
that?
It has to do with Tom and his dad.
Okay.
Wait. Let me remember what it was. To knee or not to knee? That is the question. Who said that?
I don't know.
Who was that, Tom? To be or not to be? That is the question.
I don't know.
And you know what?
I just put your name in there. Did you notice that, Tom? I put your name in there?
Yeah, it sounded really good, man.
Or not to knee?
No, it was good. That was good, man. I like that.
Listen,
I was thinking more like I thought this thumbnail was going to be titled "I told you any Randy can fish the grass and win."
Yeah, let's talk about that. So I know a Randy that was fishing the grass on Sunday out there with me, and he pulls up to me and he goes, "Hey, I heard any Randy can win right here," or something like that. And I felt bad because his name's Randy. And listen, there's a couple cool Randys in the world, okay, but the majority of them, they're sketchy at best. And it was just funny. And my point was, and I think I'm going to stop while I'm behind right now because I know John Henning's ready to crush me in the comments here. All I can say is, Tom, I'm glad you won. It was an amazing win. We want to hear about the baits yet. We didn't get to all that yet. So there's still a little bit more that we got to give out here.
All right, so check this out. I'm going to thank you guys. And I'm not even kidding. I'm going to thank Epic Eric. I'm going to thank you. I think Ryan Saltzman was on. It was during the quarantine. Mm-hmm. You guys did I think you guys did an episode on swim jigs. Like you did 4 hours of yelling at each other, drinking, and swim jigs. And I got to tell you, man, that is the exact setup that I used. Eric's setup, and I can't remember the jig that he used. I used your dirty jigs in 2 different colors, and I paired that with what Eric throws on there, which is a chigger crawl.
Yeah.
And it worked, man.
I know.
It totally worked. Here's the 2 colors of the dirty jigs.
3-inch chigger or 4? 3, I'm assuming.
No, so I trimmed the 4 down to about a 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have the 3s.
Little orange spiking on the tail.
No, I didn't get there, man. Okay. No, that chigger crawl was just green pumpkin.
All right, I got you.
But the 2 jigs that worked. So before the storm came in, the magic crawl. That was the deal. And then as that storm started rolling in and we were trying to just get some extra bites, we threw the black and blue, man.
Yep.
And that was pretty helpful. I mean, I got to tell you.
See, Tom, I'm with you on that. A lot of people like to throw a white swim jig, white and chartreuse, like the shag colors. I'm really big on the watermelon, green pumpkin, black and blue swim jigs. You know what I mean? Seriously, I that's just me. I'm the same way with that.
Yeah. Do you think the color makes that much of a difference? I feel like
I do if now it's post spawn. There's bluegills. Yeah. Right now it does a little. Yeah. Drivers don't.
Hey, so Sean's been a fan of the channel here. He's been with us every live. If you listen to Epic Eric, you will succeed. If you listen to Travis, you'll lock your keys in your car or break a rod. So that's pretty funny because our last event, Tom and I were stuck in the parking lot for a couple hours waiting on the locksmith to come along. Did you watch that video, Tom? I'm sure you have. Was that pretty good?
Dude, I just watched it the other day, and it was good, man. We caught a lot of fish that day. We totally did. There was no shortage of fish catching.
Man, that
was
fun.
Yeah, you definitely.
That was such a chill tournament that We didn't have a clue, dude. We were just out there having fun that day. You know, it was a blast. It was a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, we were having fun until you took it all serious when I didn't have my call and shit together. No, but yeah, and you'll be really proud of me too because now I can open my truck with my phone.
Nice.
I took a picture of
dude. Isn't that when you're putting your boat in the trailer? You can pull up your app, turn your air condition on. By the time you get to the truck, boom, it's nice.
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't thinking about it that way. I was just thinking about the next time some dude decided to lock my shit in my truck. I wouldn't have to wait an hour and a half.
Yes, that was bad. That was bad.
But no, I'm all set up now. I'm technologically advanced. I can take care of it.
So, are you fishing
I'm Travis proof.
Are you fishing the Chester Open on Saturday with your dad?
You know, there's a good chance. There's a good chance we'll be out there. I didn't clear that one with the wife yet, but
well,
yeah,
come on,
good shot.
When you're bringing home $40,000 every weekend, you might as well keep going.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, so John goes what? Go ahead.
What did John say?
Oh, Jimmy's frozen. He just texted me. My computer. Let me try to call him back. No, John was asking about what calling clips you guys use, and I did a rant a few years ago about the was it Calcoast, the clips, the bigger ones. They would kill my smallmouth, and I was always against that. But I was impressed. You got the smaller size, and they seem to work okay for largemouth. I'm still torn between the idea of trying it again on smallmouth, but. Was it the Calcoast clips? Is that what we were using? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was using. But you know, we were using the bigger clips in that tournament, and you lectured me the whole way home about everything that I did wrong. So I immediately decided to go on Tackle Warehouse and order the smaller clips.
Okay. And when I say lecture, I just wanted to give you some advice. So what were the three main things that you've taken away from that day?
Oh, do you really want me to give that away?
Yes. Yeah, it's important. Especially, yeah.
Okay, because this has helped me win too. So
I know. Go ahead.
All right. So if you're ever fishing with Travis and he looks down on the graph and he sees that your trail is crossing over your own trail, he's going to lose his shit. If he's not fishing untainted, completely clean water that a boat has never seen before, he's going to lose his mind. So I thought about that all day in the tournament, and I promise you that I never crossed over my own boat traffic or anybody else's boat traffic, and I deliberately stayed away from it. So that was a key differentiator in catching a lot of fish that day. So if you're around boats and you're following people around, it's not what Travis does. I can tell you that.
No, that's a good tip, and we'll even take it one step further. There's a reason why sometimes I drag my power poles, right? And it's not necessarily for our benefit. Well, it is. We like to disturb the peace, if you know what I mean, with all the other boats that are following us. Does that make sense? We'll leave it at that.
Dude, I know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure everybody else does too.
We had a good lesson on that.
All right, so that was lesson number 1.
Okay.
I'll never forget that. Lesson number 2 was you better learn how to use your Rapala scale, even though there's 2 pages of instructions. I didn't master that yet. Man, there was more.
I know. Did you switch over the braid to a fluorocarbon leader on your spinning rods yet?
No.
Okay.
No, I do. I have braid to fluoro on probably 3 of them. I probably have straight fluoro on the other 2, but yeah, some of the presentations you and I were using, yeah, we didn't have that. But I'm going to give away a lot. I upgraded my spinning rod.
Ah.
So,
Two?
the G Loomis NRX. Like, you use the St. Croix Legend Extreme, and you believe that those rods make a difference for you. Well, the G Loomis NRX makes a difference. So I don't have the Legend Extreme. You know, they're pretty expensive rods, but I will tell you that it does make a difference. You definitely feel more fish, you feel more action, you feel more everything.
I'm trying to get Jimmy back on.
All right, cool. I'll talk about my rod and reel setup.
Please do.
Yeah. So over the winter, I had to sell a lot of stuff. I had to sell a lot of rods and reels, so I could buy some upgraded rods. And you know, Epic Eric told you his rod setup was the NRX 853 medium heavy. It was like a 7.1 medium heavy NRX rod that he throws a swim jig on. That's exactly what I used. I mean, I just about replicated his entire setup. I don't remember his line size, but I was probably using anywhere between 12 and 14 Sunline FC Sniper.
Damn.
So
that stuff's expensive, man.
Yeah, dude. But I just want a boat.
True. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
All right. Reel setup, no different than yours, man. You're using the Shimano. You're using the Corrados, right?
Yeah,
you're using the
200 or whatever they're called.
Yeah, I had the 200 high speed HG. That's what I was using.
And slow that thing down. A couple people way earlier here in the comments wanted to talk a little bit about how to fish, how I like to fish the grass with an outgoing tide or incoming tide. And I tell my clients this a lot, although they don't always listen. Bow control is very important when you're fishing the grass. And I like to have, especially like a Senko, when you're working that bait in the fall and everything's critical and feeling the bites, I want to be able to pull that bait through that grass, and I want to be able to pull it whichever way that grass is leaning. Like, I want to cast with the current for the most part. Now, at the same time, I've seen guys crush them casting the opposite way, but it just makes your life a little bit easier being able to reel that bait, even the swim jig, even the chatterbait, with the current, with the grass. Does that make sense? I'm sure you've taken note to that. These comments.
Me? Yeah, no, I guess I'm the only one you're talking to. Yeah, no, I do the same thing. I mean, you have to give consideration to those fish. Bass are lazy, and they're gonna want to sit behind some cover, and they're gonna want that current bringing food to them. So you got to play to that when you're out there, and what you're doing for the most part is just that. And there will be times where I'll mix it up too, and I'll go the other way just to see if I can trigger some strikes. But yeah, for the most part,
I think it's definitely worth a try doing it the other way, especially if you get a clean cast and you feel confident. And sometimes you don't have a choice really. You have the winds going the opposite direction and bow control, and it's tough. That I think it's really like you said, you mentioned in the Ike interview, it's fish in the moment, you know. And once you get locked in, you'll have more of these, Tom, as you fish more events and you get more confidence. You'll be able to just do exactly what you did this past weekend in future events, especially now that you have some confidence that you can go out there and kick everyone's ass. You know what I mean? No, for real, dude.
Yeah.
Like, once you have that,
I'm filled with it now. Yeah,
it's different game, dude. When you have that confidence, like, you can just, like, your head plays a lot of games with you out there. You know. It really does. And so once you get that right, things change, in my opinion. And you get those confident baits. And you start, realizing, hey, if I throw this bait, in the past I've had a lot of success with it. You know, it's hard for someone that doesn't fish a lot out there, or maybe someone that goes out there a couple times a month, to get confidence in particular baits and lures to throw. But once you develop that, you gotta hold on to it and utilize it, capitalize on the confidence, capitalize on those baits that has worked for you in the past, because it really doesn't change. And now, whether it be a Cinco or a brush hog or whatever, there's other guys that are probably throwing a brush hog on a sea rig out there and crushing it, but that's their confidence bait. I think once you have that bait, you just go to town with it. And it sounds like for you, the swim jig and the Cinco came into play. And I can't stress enough that for me, if I'm not throwing an original Gary Yamamoto Cinco, I'm not in the game at all. And I know there's a lot of bait companies that make a stick bait, but I have not found one yet besides the original that I can feel good about. Because there's times when you go 20, 30 an hour without a bite. You're casting that thing, it's going, doop. And it's like, man, what's going on here? Agree?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you one that I think I've gotten some feedback on, and I've had the luxury of using. If you want to experiment, I think you're familiar with the Gajo stick baits.
I know Eric.
Give it a chance, man.
Know. Eric's crushed them on it. I'll be honest. I love Will. I love Gajo. I love the Spirit Shad. I've caught some smallmouth on it, dude.
I think you were just about to say you didn't like it.
That's
what you're about to do.
No, I don't have the I don't use it that much. I know I should.
Look, I throw the Cinco too. I do have some of those Gajo stick baits, and a million Spirit Shads thanks to you and Will. And they work, man.
So what do you have? What do you have looking forward? How's the rest of your summer look? I mean, can you believe? First of all, it's almost July. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I can't wait to go fish more tournaments. I honestly can't. So I do want to get up north. I know you're going up there in a couple weeks.
I got a few days, dude. Let me know. Let's just go. I'm serious. Open invite. I told Eric. I told Jimmy. I'm telling you. I have a few days set aside for fun fishing. So if you want to come up there, I'd love to plan something here. I head up there, guys. July 2nd, I'll be up there, and I won't come home until the end of September. So we're finally done with the grass fishing on the Chesapeake. I got one more event. Me and Brian the Carpenter are going to be fishing Saturday, and after that, we can put the chatterbaits away and go throw some Spirit Shads the rest of the year. So.
No, that's fun, man. That's some of the best fishing I've ever had up there. So, I'm going to take you up on that. I will hit you up. We'll find out what time I can get up there. And I just, how to wreck them up there. And I'm sure I'll learn a thing or two if you show me something. So I look forward to it. I can't wait to get up there. So what am I doing? You're probably going to poo-poo all over this, but I might fish the FLW.
FLW's fine, man.
Yeah, no, I might fish it, man. I've never fished Cayuga. I think I want to get up there and check it out. They got the St. Lawrence. They got two tournaments on the St. Lawrence back to back, and then they got a super tournament on the Upper Bay in August. So I look forward to that. I'm actually registered to fish the Oneida Bass Open, so that's a big deal. I'm looking forward to practicing up there, and I know you're kind of hot and cold up there. You love it or hate it. It's one or the other. But
Oneida?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew. Boat pressure, dude. Boat pressure.
Yeah, so I entered that. I look forward to that. I think that'll be pretty cool. But, yeah, Chester County's cool too, man. I just love getting out there. It's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. No, it'll be hopefully we'll, just seems like time's flying so quickly right now. I know we're talking July, and by the next time you even hopefully you get up there, July, August, The bite's been really good. As far as the flats go, the bite out here on the Chesapeake, you guys can look forward to some epic topwater fishing soon, I hope. I've only caught a handful on top so far this year. But that's going to go off pretty soon. I think in the next 3 weeks, that whole Chesapeake, the flats is going to look extremely different than what it does right now. Jimmy's back. Jimmy!
What's up, Jimmy?
Boy, that took a while, dude. We got no volume on Jimmy.
Yeah, we got no audio, bro.
Come on, dude. Hit the audio. Hit the unmute.
There we go.
What happened, dude? It took you 25 minutes to reboot your computer.
My camera working good?
Jeez. Not anymore.
Hold on. He'll be back. This is... Hey!
Come on, Jimmy.
How's that?
Good.
How do I look, Tom?
Hey, you look good, man. Listen, I want to give everybody a shot at this, man. I've been looking at this thing for
Wait, what is that? Turn
couple
a
days
little
now.
back more so we can see it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it's. I haven't slept with it or anything, but it's been really cool. Give me a chance to plug the Ike Foundation here. I think that when you think about this event, you got to really respect the fact that Mike and Becky, they believe in getting kids out fishing into the outdoors early. They spend a lot of time putting these events on, these fundraisers, dinners, all kinds of things that effectively, impacted each and every one of us on this call, and probably so many viewers that are here chatting, making fun of you, Travis. The Ike Foundation is such a cool. They got such a cool mission, and I'm just thrilled to death to be a winner of one of these events. So. Winning a boat's pretty cool, but to win a boat for the Ike, that was a part of the Ike Foundation. It's a big deal. So, my father and I, we plan to be, donors and contributors, to this foundation going forward. It's a cool thing, when you can find a cause that you believe in at the same time, that in a sport you love, it's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
I'm a mess here.
That's fine.
Sorry, I'm listening.
Fine. And real quick, I know guys saw my Instagram story a couple days ago about the crackheads, and I just want to let you know nothing's happened to my boat, but just a suspicious thing happened early in the morning when I went to grab my boat. I noticed a car alongside the road, and as I looked, I saw the blaze of I don't know, it could have been weed or whatever, but there was something being smoked that wasn't a cigarette in the car. And so I said, oh, that's interesting. That vehicle shouldn't be where it's at. And so I grabbed my boat, I'm going out of the marina, and I noticed there's two people with backpacks and stuff jumping the fence, heading to the bathroom. And I just drove past the car again, got their license plate just in case. And but no big deal. That's the story. It's not as epic as I maybe made it sound, but you were recorded. Yeah, go ahead.
Bring it. What's up, man?
Take it away, Tom.
What do you want to talk about?
Look at all these awesome people out here, man. Man, you know what? I just want to this is just crazy. Tom, I am so proud of you and your pop, man. I love your father, dude.
Thanks, man.
Hi, man. I think we kind of go way back, me and him, don't we? Like fishing on the bay a couple years back?
Yeah, maybe, man. I have no idea.
Did your pop used to fish like the ABA and all that stuff back in the day on the bay in the Delaware and all that?
Yeah, I mean, he used to fish the Delaware. I think he was in like Blackwater Bassmasters. He was in the club with John Venor.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and I'm sure. Yeah, we used to have a lot of fun back in the day. Everybody would fish certain tournaments, and it was fun, man. It was a little different, It was different back then. It wasn't, you couldn't. Not everybody had a $70,000 bass boat, It was pretty crazy. But we always caught fish, We always caught fish.
It's amazing what these banks can put us up to these days, isn't it?
Yeah. Speaking of banks, how's your job, bro?
Hey, it's good, man. I'll tell you, we are on fire right now. For those of you that don't know, I work for work for a pretty large regional bank in the market, and I'm in the mortgage industry. So we're on fire. I mean, mortgage interest rates are just down. I mean, with the rest of the interest rates in the world. So there's a lot of people out there that can take advantage of refinancing or buying, and we're seeing all kinds of crazy things happening in the world of real estate. So it's on fire, Jimmy. But thanks for asking.
Great. That is great.
So, so Jimmy, I posted in my story. You sent me a text message, and without your permission, I did a little story about it. You sent me a message saying you made your first order from Taco Warehouse since 2016. What did you buy? Everybody wants to know.
I was just
Jimmy's thinking about getting back into fishing. You know, he wrecked his car on the wall racing.
Listen. And by the way, my brother calls me up and says, "Oh, Travis wants a video. You wrecking the car."
No, first of all, your brother calls me up. Your brother called me up and goes, "Hey, you know how Jimmy was talking about how he hit the wall? He was going 35." I said, "Send me that video."
I was not doing 120. Everybody knows that. Okay. I wouldn't be here right now with you and Mr. Nee, okay? But anyway, so yeah. So I bought a few things at Taco Warehouse. I had to reset my password, obviously.
Okay.
It just didn't work. They did offer me a big sponsorship deal, and I turned it down.
Yep.
Yeah, I turned it down. I said, save it for guys like Tom.
Right.
I mean, I just, you know me, Tom, right? I'm just a Jimmy big time. That's it. But so I did buy myself a couple rods. I bought the ugly sticks, the newer ones. I bought a couple.
You bought what?
Ugly sticks, two of them. With the clear tip, the ones with the clear tip on them.
Speaking of that, I was on
what are these for, Jimmy?
I'm only kidding. I didn't buy ugly sticks, Tom. I bought two new spinning rods. I bought some hooks. I bought, of course, nothing but the best line out there, which is Yozori. Mm-hmm. Tom, you use Yozori?
No.
Okay, good then. Okay, super. Travis?
I do, for certain applications.
Yeah, certain applications. Mud laps, Jimmy. Oh yeah, Johnny.
Do you guys know?
But so I bought some stuff. I got some stuff.
Can I vent? I've been on the phone with Bass Pro Shops today, on and off for over 4 hours, trying to order. I have a Nitro boat rewards card that you have to call in. You can't just go online. You have to call in to get your 20% discount for being a Nitro owner. And I can't buy. I want to get a couple panfish rods. I want to get a couple perch rods, and they won't even take my order, dude. I don't know. Crazy. Like 3-4 hours of just, I'm doing stuff in the background, obviously, while I'm listening to Bass Pro Shops on hold music. So anybody in the comments know, I'm looking for a couple good high quality perch jerking rods that I can get set up because, I'm into that too. You guys don't know anything about that, right?
What do you got?
Can't help it.
Just looking for some panfish rods, bro.
Yeah, the long ones. What do they call them? Jigger poles?
No, just like a 7-foot medium light with a good reel.
That's what you use all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, you got plenty of them.
I don't want to. I'm not going to spend $400 on a. I don't want to keep putting slip bobbers on my drop shot rods when I switch on and off. I just want to have 2 or 3 perch rods and ready to go. And I'm not going to spend $400 on a Legend Extreme.
Cool.
Okay.
Why not?
I don't know.
You got so much shit as it is. Why wouldn't you spend another $400?
No.
I think I know what you're doing, man. You're trying to save money by eating perch while you're up north.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what. It's funny. Earlier this week, Sean, who watches the show a lot, sent me a text message. I didn't have him on my phone, so I didn't know who he was. He goes, "Hey, it's Sean," and I'm thinking, "Oh, okay." St. Croix's running a special on like their B rods or refurbished rods and stuff like that. If you want to take advantage of it, I just thought I'd let you know. And I thought it was one of the reps I work with St. Croix. So I write back, "Hey, thanks for the tip. How much is 2 Legend Extreme panfish rods or whatever?" And he writes back, "LOL, I can't help you with that, bro." And I'm like, "What? who's this guy? And then I put two and two together. Yeah, I guess you had to be there. Funny story in my mind. But, man, what do we got? 300 plus viewers tonight. All want to learn about the beatdown that Tom put on the Bay.
Well, see, you know what? And Tom, you guys make a good point, For years, I mean, basically, if you're not in the grass this time of the year, you're probably not going to win. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean,
right now?
April, May. Hold on, Travis.
Jimmy.
Hold on, Travis. April, May is a whole different story compared to June and July. Tom made the right decision. You didn't.
Correct. And
let me say this, though. The next day there was a major tournament on the Chesapeake, and Centaur won, probably on hardcover. That's all I'm saying.
Well, like Centaur can win on hardcover. He's good at catching fish on hardcover.
Okay.
You're not.
Dude, the grass is my weakness, dude. Remember Epic Eric?
I know you don't
know
like
how
the
to fish
grass,
grass, bro.
That's where the big fish live.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So, yeah, I would just totally agree with you, Jimmy. But I will say this. I think that, there's probably a time that's approaching towards the end of June, early July, where that grass becomes pretty saturated out there, and you really got to become really confident with the top water bait or flipping, because you're not going to be able to get a lot of moving baits through there and cover a lot of water. So you got to know what you're looking for. You got to be stealthy, and you got to find a way to make it happen. And it's not easy. And I can't say that that's a strength of mine, but I'll give it to Travis. I mean, there's a lot of hardcover guys. Like, there's really, really, really good guys on the flats that can catch them year round. So, I mean, and can put 20 pounds in the boat when it's very tough.
The guys, Tom, that fish the flats year round, they know where the fish are at that particular time of the year. I mean, it's an obvious. Travis, you know too. You caught so many big fish on the Chesapeake in the spring and the fall, but come summertime, you just suck.
Because Andy Randy can win in the summertime.
I know and I'm not saying that you suck as a fisherman, but you won't go out there and just do or die. You won't do it.
Right.
And that's what the grass. It's the same way on the Potomac. The big fish live in the grass. There's big ones in the grass. They're always in the grass.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
So listen, here's a question.
I fish the pack on in the summertime on these Thursday night tournaments, and I always catch fish in the grass.
Yes.
Jimmy is 100% correct.
You're right.
At times, Tom.
Listen, Tom, I listened to you were on Ike Live on Sunday night, and I listened to it Monday morning. It was awesome. You did a great job, first of all, but prior or after they had another guy that fished on the MLF, and they were talking about controversy. Who were those two anglers? Do you know?
No, I have no idea.
I can't figure it out either. If you guys in the comments let me know, there was some major controversy about some spot hopping in the MLF, and I just didn't know who they were or anything. I was trying to do some research earlier tonight. Did you watch the rest of that, Tom?
No.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't hear about it.
Okay.
I want to go back to Tom's grass win. All right, seriously, This is serious now.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get around and joke
Everybody's
around
saying
a lot.
I'm looking rough.
Huh?
What's that all about?
What? Who, me?
No, everybody in the comments saying looking rough.
So Tom, my thing, and I hope you don't have to agree, but Travis won't, but you probably will. But where else on any place or any lake, river, or stream can you pull into a spot and catch 5 fives in a matter of 15 minutes? Can you do that on a boat dock? Probably not. Can you do that on a rock pile? Maybe if it's offshore somewhere. But you can't pull up to a little tiny rock pile and catch 5 big fish in 15 minutes. Anybody who knows where the fish or finds the fish in the grass, they're capable of doing that. You can catch 3 on this pile, 3 on this pile, and it's all about the irregularities of the grass. People think it's just pull up to a big grass bed and start flipping. That's not how it works.
No. No, I agree. I went to Dundee and checked out a big grass flat that would have took me 2 days to dissect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why I rolled on out of there.
It's funny what they say is that if you're catching 2-pounders in a certain spot in the grass, just move over a little bit, or just move back a little bit, or just go to a different part of that grass till you find a little bit better fish. Because usually those fish are around the same size if you keep catching them. Usually they are.
Yeah. So I got to tell you, Jimmy, I think your assessment of that is pretty good, because we weighed in 4 fish that I think we probably caught in 20 yards of each other, but we let it rest. I mean, we didn't catch them in 4 casts.
Just keep going back.
Yeah, we had to let it rest. We had to go through it. We had to let it rest. We came back, and I got to tell you, when I started approaching those marks, that's where we kept catching them. So what you just said is pretty accurate. I mean, that tournament was won in a patch of grass.
Yeah. And did you have one over 6, Tom? Did you have a big one?
No, we had probably 4 over 5 though.
Yeah, because my next point was, usually when you bring in a stringer that's from 23 to 24 pounds, you always got a pretty decent fish in the bag. But you had 4 good ones, which is pretty amazing,
Yeah.
I mean, that's really amazing. It isn't like you brought a 7.5 in with a bunch of 4s. You brought 4 5s in and a 4.5. Like, I mean, that's pretty amazing, And guess what? There's guys that fish forever that will never win a tournament. Even though they're good fishermen, they fish hard, they compete, they're consistent, but just winning one and winning that one is amazing, dude. I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, and it's not easy at all, and I can tell you, like, I wasn't a favorite to win it at all by any means. I mean, I have 10 years of fishing the flats as a co-angler, even out of my own boat for the last 4 years, and I don't put a ton of time on the water. It's I just try to learn something new every time I'm out there. Yeah, like, I didn't find these fish in practice. We talked a lot about what we were doing, Travis. I mean, I'm out there fishing grass, trying to fish baits the right way, trying to drag them the right way with the grass and how they're laying down, and I'm looking for, transition spots with certain grass and hard bottom, and trying to have some deeper water next to it. You got to get out there and you got to find that stuff. And I will tell you, Jimmy, I put days out there on the trolling motor on that flat, just putting in GPS waypoints, trying to find, like, ditches. Nobody tells you where this shit is. No. So you got to get out there and you got to figure it out.
So the day before the event, Eric and I were out there on a low tide, and we did just that. We had the trolling motor on high most of the day, and we found some gorgeous looking shit. And we still couldn't get bit, dude, the day before the event, the day before those fish turned on. It was pathetic out there.
But to Jimmy's point, like, it's not going to be on every spot in the grass. I think you got to figure them out. And when you figure out where they're at, like, you get one bite. You got that bite for a reason. That wasn't just a single fish there. You got to back off that spot. You got to let it rest, and you got to go back to it. And if you can catch a second fish there, I'm telling you, you're going to catch a third fish there.
Yeah. Sure.
You just gotta, just don't get in there, don't disrupt it. Fish that clean water in front of the boat, and I'm telling you, it could very well happen right there in the grass.
Mm-hmm. And it'll continue to happen there until about September, October, end of September, middle of September. The grass will stay good probably till middle of September. And then water cools down and fish will start pulling back up. I mean, listen, you can catch a limit anywhere on the Chesapeake on 5 boat docks. You can pull in and fish 5 boat docks and catch a limit anywhere in the Chesapeake. Anywhere.
Oh, Jimmy, I'm just laughing my ass off. Some dude said, "Tom, do you need a nitro scarf?"
Tired, Travis. You tired?
No, I'm good.
Point being is that Tom, like you said, you can catch fish on the Chesapeake, and the problem is what we do as fishermen is we always want to catch fish. So we'll go out and we'll spend an hour in the grass. You'd be like, you know what, this sucks. And you haul ass into the dock, catch 2 or 3. Well, let's go back out to the grass. You run back out to the grass. This sucks. You go back and you run over to, and that's what we do as bass fishermen, I mean, because you want to get bites. You want to get bit. It's no fun if you're not getting bit. You know what I mean? And you don't really learn much by doing that.
No,
you don't. You really don't.
That's 12-pound Tommy.
Listen, believe me, back in the day when we used to fish at the Chesapeake, it used to only take 15 to 16 pounds to win. Me and Mike Piccolo won many tournaments on the Chesapeake. But once we noticed that it went from 16 to 18 to 19 to 20, guess what we started doing, Tom? We started fishing grass because we knew if we didn't move out to the grass, we'd be finishing 3rd, 4th, 5th. And me and Mike had a lot of wins on the Chesapeake Bay, believe me. And I'm not saying that to be braggadocious, but we had it figured out, dude, for years. But then it got better. Things opened up,
Yeah, I don't know. I've learned a lot. And I continue to learn a lot about this sport. And if you hang around with Travis long enough, he will tell you everything you're doing wrong. And wait, I got to say this. But when it comes to grass, whether you're on the Potomac or whether you're on the Upper Chesapeake Bay, if that grass is, whether it's April and that grass is just emerging, or whether it's June or July, it doesn't matter. You have to be in that because that's where the biggest fish are going to be. And if you want to win that tournament, you might be able to pull it off on like some transitional stuff, but there's a pretty good shot that the winner's going to come out of a grass. So if you're fishing to win, you got to be in the grass.
And you know what, too? It's even better. It's like when I dock fish, Tom. When I'm go to a lake, Cayuga or Oneida or Lake Pacon, Clearwater Lakes, even Champlain, if there's no grass on the boat dock, I don't even bother throwing on it. I want the grass to be around the poles on the boat dock. I want grass around that hardcover. I mean, bass love grass.
And it's 100% true. And it's not even me saying it. I'm not the expert. I'm out there watching all the same content everybody else is watching about how to learn how to catch fish in the grass. And you will watch every pro that actually gets paid for a living that does this. They will tell you the same exact thing. You got to be out there.
Well, I'm sorry that I have an opinion, and I'll let you know what you're doing wrong. Some people saying under 5 minutes. But Mike Power says Travis is a light to fish with, the derb, by the way. Thanks,
is that what
Mike.
he said?
Yeah, I had fun with Mike, man. I learned a few things.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Man. It's awesome.
Ain't no law when you're drinking the
you,
claw.
Travis, you actually, I mean, and I said it earlier, I mean, just fishing with you, the Derby, 2 weeks before this event, I had a lot of things in my head, man. And I shared a couple of them with the group here, but everything's been helpful, from you guys doing all your content, all of your talk shows over this whole quarantine. It's all helped, from bait selections to presentations to boat positioning and how to fish clean water. It made all the difference in me putting a boat in my dad's garage.
Carly just said her favorite word is braggadocious. Oh shit, that's great.
These comments are always a blast to read.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I was just gonna say something, Tom, that was pertaining to what we were talking about, but I seem to have dropped the ball.
Why does Epic Eric think he's getting a little attitude in the comments, talking shit? If he's not on there? Well, what did you learn, Travis? Like, what are you trying to get at, E? I texted you 3 times already. I said, why don't you jump on? Hello? Nothing. But he'll sit there and comment away.
Okay, so let me tell you what I bought from Tackle Warehouse real fast.
Eric.
Yeah.
I tried calling you on Skype. Get on Skype for 5 minutes.
Huh?
Nothing. Keep going. I'm getting pissed now.
So what I did was I'm a huge PAL fan. I love PAL rods, okay?
PAL?
So I've been using. I love power rods. I use.
Are they even in business still?
Kumara's.
He froze. Oh, there he is.
What happened?
Nothing. You're good.
So anyway, I went out and I bought 2 7'5" medium extra fast spinning rods. Just in case I decide to go fishing.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some hooks. I bought some line. What else did I buy, Tom? No baits. I got plenty of those. I only need a
Eric,
bag
you're
of
not grilling at 10:01 p.m., all right?
He's so worried about. Listen, I'm listening to you, Jimmy. He can worry about Eric.
Yeah. He's so rude, isn't he?
So where are you going, man? Like, you going on vacation with the family? What's the deal?
Dude, I don't even know yet. I ain't even got my rods yet. They'll probably get here broke.
Nah, come on now.
Nah. Now, they'll be here tomorrow, so I'll take pictures of them and shit. And, I'm going to be so happy. I'm just going to look at them like this.
So how many rods do you own?
A lot.
And you bought more?
A lot. I have all, I got, the majority of my rods are all Kamaras. But I do have like 4 or 5 pals, which I really like the pal for the money. I mean, Kamaras are $279 or whatever, and the pals are $150, $169. And it's a great rod. I like pal rods. I use Stratic, reels and but I got good shit. You know what I mean? I just don't fish.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man.
Except my electronics aren't up to snuff, according to Speed Manson over there. And I said, well, if you're fishing in 2.5 foot of water in dirty, muddy grass, what good is that radar super dog going to do for you?
I think Mike had a, was it Mike? I don't remember if it was Mike or a client I had. But my transducer started flashing because I was in shallow water. You know how in shallow water, it's like, yeah. And he goes, well, how deep is it? And I stick my rod tip down. I go, that's about 3 feet here. He goes, you got $15,000 of electronics on your boat, and you're using your rod in the grass to tell me how deep it is? I go, it's the way it is, man. I don't use this shit out here.
I can't tell you how many times I've checked the depth with my rod.
Coordinates, maybe. And I'll tell you what, dude, your power poles tell you a little secret, too, from time to time. If you listen to them.
That was something I wanted to ask you about, Travis. Tom, do you have poles on your boat? 2 poles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Travis had mentioned something about the wind out on the flat. If you got power poles, there ain't no wind.
True.
So, like you were saying, well, the wind was blowing, you fish with the wind. I didn't understand that. Because if you got power poles, you point the boat into the wind, you stick your poles down, you fish into the wind, not with the wind. Because you bring the bait
you can.
in this way.
You can. And I do that. I do that in tournaments. When I'm guiding, though, it gets a little difficult.
Oh.
That's all. Some guys can't.
Tom, was it windy that day or no?
Well, it was actually slick calm in the morning, and then a storm came through in the afternoon, and I actually used the wind to move the boat, and just so I didn't have to hit the trolling motor, and that, I think that made a big difference too.
For a split second, Mike had me worried out there when that storm was coming through. He was holding his rod up, telling me how he could feel the electricity coming through. And I was like, I started going into, what would happen if I die mode, and gave him some set of instructions. And then I started thinking, okay, is he serious or not? Because I couldn't feel it with my rods. And I was using the Dobbins, I was using the Baitcaster, so maybe not. But he was in my head a little bit. Did you feel any of that? Static electricity or anything? No.
No, man.
It was pretty eerie. Was it not pretty neat seeing that storm move through and everybody fishing the hardcover up in the Northeast just getting dumped on? Like, it was right there, dude.
Yeah, that went right by us, man. We were pretty close together, and but you were probably one of the closest boats to me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And
because when I'm out fishing, I don't know who's who. You know what I mean? I don't pay attention. And so when Mike was saying, hey, that dude's yelling at you, I'm like, yeah, I don't know who it is. It is. I didn't know it was you exactly. And then once I saw you guys hovered over the live well for 25 minutes, I was like,
what asshole does that?
That's him.
Yeah.
You should have just put your poles down and just took a nap, Tom. Just put a big sign, 24 plus, and just take a nap, dude. They all would have left. They'd have been like, fudge it, we're going home.
That's it.
Hey, about that lightning one time, right? So I'm fishing a tournament by myself. And I'm fishing, and of course, this huge storm comes through. So you could cast the line, you could actually see like the electricity in the line, grab the line. It was crazy. But the crazy thing was back in the day, I had a motor guide trolling motor. It was a wireless trolling motor, right? The first one they came out with years ago, it was 36 volt. It was like this super duper deal. So I'm fishing, and all of a sudden, the lightning comes down, and I'm fishing. The trolling motor fucking turns on by itself and starts taking me in circles around and around. And Tom, I swear, dude, I couldn't shut the trolling motor off. It kept going in circles, full bore, room, and you can't unplug it, the foot control, because it's wireless. So, dude, I'm going around in circles like 1,000 miles an hour until finally it just stopped.
Wow.
True story.
Hey,
True story.
Mike told me that it only hurts for 1 second.
No, I didn't
when you get hit
shot.
by lightning. I know.
Whatever it did, it fucked up the controller in my trolling motor.
Jimmy, did it stop working, or did you?
It just shut off.
Would it ever work again?
It blew the fuse in the back. So I had to reset the master fuse. Yeah. I had to reset the master. The reason it shut off was I had to reset the master fuse. Dude, I swear, I was going around in a circle, and I couldn't even get to the boat to pull the plug out of the trolling motor.
Jimmy.
It was nuts.
Doesn't the kill switch work for that?
No, I didn't have it. I never wear mine. Why would I?
Yeah.
No,
You don't fish.
Tell me you never did this. I used to have an old Ranger, and at one of the BFLs, the guy'd say, "Okay, pull your switch." So I'd hit my button down and pull it out like that.
And you'd pretend. You'd pretend.
Yeah, I used to pretend. Oh, God, forgive me. I shouldn't have done that.
I know, man. We got to get Jimmy a kill switch for his trolling motor now.
No, I'm good. My shit all works good. It just needs to be put in the water.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to start doing some fishing, Tom.
Well,
Seriously.
Jimmy, you did say that you and Eric will come up, fish Ontario, St. Lawrence River together this summer.
Yeah.
I think Tom's going to come up. Tom, you have to come up, dude.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
I'll show you all the goods.
Yeah. No, you won't.
No, I will.
Chris said all this talk without a drink. Need Jimmy on here drinking. I ain't got. Holy
Jimmy
shit.
hasn't had a drink since
11 years.
93.
11 years. Yeah.
It's been about an hour for me.
That's okay. You boys are good at it. I was horrible.
And I know I said this earlier, Tom, seriously, that was an awesome interview on the Ike Live. Like, I was hoping I watched it on the way to a guy trip, and I was like, dang. And I had like 20 minutes to go yet. I was like, no, I hope fuck. I was into it, dude. And I was like, and then I shut my car off to get gas, and I couldn't find it, and I was looking for it, and I was like, and I had to finish it at the end of the day. But you guys crushed it, man. That was awesome.
Thanks,
you
man.
And your dad were very
good. We
I
had one of the best days of our lives, man, out on the water. It was cool.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? It just happens. The harder you work, the luckier you get sometimes. Fact, dude. I'm serious.
Yeah, you know, we didn't have shit for practice, man. You know, we really just committed to the flat just for the sheer, you know, theory that the big fish are out there, man. Like, so if you're gonna win anything, you just got to get your ass out there, and you got to just find some clean water, find what you're looking for, get away from the boat traffic, and yeah, if it comes together, it comes together.
Hey,
and
so Tacklecraft goes, when's the Smallmouth Crush Open tournament on the Bay gonna happen? I never even thought about that. That would be a pretty cool event.
Spinning rod only?
If we do it right. Remember they used to have the, what was it, Gambler?
The frog only tournament?
Yeah. Or Spro.
Yeah.
That'd be fun to do. Tom, you get anything on topwater yet out there?
No.
Pretty soon, though.
How come you guys weren't throwing a buzzbait out there? I want to know.
Oh, dude, I tried the buzzbait yesterday or 2 days ago for quite a while.
Yeah.
A lot of eelgrass, a lot of floating eelgrass. Whopper ploppers out. That ain't coming through out there. They're just not looking up yet, dude. Any day. And it could be timing, too. It could be time of the day, tides, things like that. I have not gotten a good... I've caught 5 fish on topwater so far out there this year.
How many?
5.
I'll tell you what I used to do a lot, and it probably don't care much, but I would always use that as a search bait, and I'd get out on that flat time when I was new to it, and I would just start chucking something on top, man, just to get a blow up. As soon as I got a blow up, I'd go right over and then start fishing it. I mean, I used to do that all the time, It eliminated a lot of crap for me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like you said and I said, man, like you find those fish and you can probably find more. So that's a great idea.
And here's the deal too. Like next year, Tom, that area probably won't hold fish. You know what I mean? Like I've seen that so many times out there. I have spots that I remember just not even in milfoil, just eelgrass with a hard bottom, where you could go there and you could see the fish cruising around that open area. That little pocket of nothing, with good grass around, and you'd see them. I've been back to those areas many times this year already, and because the grass isn't correct around it, there's nothing there, even though it's great bottom content, if that makes sense.
Now, I agree with you, Travis, on tidal water, but not so much as with lakes.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you on tidal water,
yeah.
but
I hate tidal water, dude, because you could be from out of town practicing, trying to figure things out. Let's say you show up 3 days early for a tournament on the Chesapeake Bay, and you could be on the best freaking spot there is, but the wrong tide. You don't get bit, you move on, and you never go back to it. You cross it off your list. It's so hard to practice on tidal water just because of that.
Travis, I agree. I agree, dude. I love fishing lakes. I love it. The problem is we spent so many years down in flats, and I'd rather fish the Potomac, I told you before, the flats.
Listen,
more to fish.
What happened to me this past tournament was, and people think, oh, you're a guy, you're out there every day. Well, the reason why I sucked was because I was out there every day. If I didn't fish all week and the tournament was Saturday, I'd have been like, I'm going to the flats, I'm going to the grass. Period. Not even a question. But because I spent time out there and saw the way the bite was deteriorating in my mind, that's why I chose to run, and it screwed me. But live and learn. That's what fishing's all about. We're gonna have more of those mistakes every year. That's what I love about tournament fishing, guys. I love the highs and lows. Like there's nothing. That's why I fish tournaments. It's because even the break-offs, the losing the fish, when that happens, dude, you're alive. You know what I mean? Like, as sucky as it is, that feeling is what drives me, what fuels me. That's what I look for. Of course, I like the feeling when you jack your 5th fish and life is good. But, man, I'll take the heartbreaks, too. That's why I do it.
Travis, I think you learn a lot from those heartbreaks. And I've had more of those than anybody. So I got to tell you, there's still bodies of water that I can't seem to figure out very well. But, you learn something every time you go after it. So, just keep getting on the water, man. Like that's the only way you can do it. And
you said it, Tom. That's the key.
Yeah.
Time on the water. I mean, nothing's as good as being on the water if that's what you do.
Yeah. And the other thing is, and we didn't talk too much about it, but I mean, there's only so many things you can do in the grass, but I had a lot of baits tied on, and I felt like I had to get through a lot of different baits to get confidence in putting fish into the boat. And you can do that relatively quickly. And that's something that, I feel like I didn't have that skill even earlier this year. And I feel like I got a lot of confidence in moving through different baits to be able to decide, what was going to put them in the boat. And, I think fishing with you, Travis, 2 weeks ago was pretty helpful too, because we kind of dialed into a certain pattern, which we couldn't replicate this past weekend. It was just not going to work.
That pattern, honestly, that pattern has died for me. I cannot get things going on that. Crazy,
yeah,
isn't
so
it? But don't ever forget that, because it will happen again.
Yeah, for sure. But just for the people that are watching, I mean, you've gotta be able to cycle through these baits, because certain things will work at certain times of the year and certain weeks, and that's something you got to be prepared for every time you hit the water for the highest amount of success.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get my puppy in there. He likes to see everybody once a night.
That pit bull.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Hey Jimmy, is that one of the new shirts?
Oh yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got rid of the orange because everyone used to tell me I looked like an inmate. So I got rid of. Do you see the back?
Yeah, man, they're looking pretty good.
I could. If Joe Hunt had this on, it'd look better because he's like this big, dude.
Hey,
is he big, Tom, or what?
He got big. He got big.
I'll tell you what, man. Joe Hunt's jacked.
He's muscular.
Jimmy, first of all, how are you going to get away to Lake Ontario with me if you got to cut lawns every day?
I already talked to my son-in-law about it. He'll be able to handle it for a couple days.
Okay.
I talked to him today about it. I really did. God's honest. Yeah. I don't lie. It's one thing I don't do.
What do you guys think of Epic Eric trolling tonight on the chat? That's pretty messed up. Hate is gonna hate. I'm just kidding.
I love that guy.
First of all, listen, we have a pretty good crowd competing against Bass University, which that's another point I want to make up. I'm glad I just brought that up. So, guys, let me know in the comments. I don't want to keep doing Tuesday nights. I talked to BTC tonight. I called him up earlier today. I go, hey, what's the deal? You guys are going live on Tuesdays? He's like, yeah, we had to make a change. And I said, and he was apologetic. And I'm like, well, you don't have to apologize to me, dude. I'm going to, I know a lot of people that watch Bass U, that fish tidal water, want to tune in would probably want to watch both, but we can't have competing times. So I think what we're going to do, and I talked to Eric, we're going to go back to Wednesday nights. I know Stray Cats, whatever they're called, are Wednesday nights, but Mondays don't work, and Thursdays are a traveling day for Eric. So I think we have to go back to Wednesday nights. I just don't want to compete, because I'm sure Brian Schmidt and Bass University had a lot of good things to say tonight. So I appreciate you guys that hung out with us. And I know you guys can watch the replays. I really enjoyed the chat and the interaction with everybody every night. And so if it's okay with you guys, I think starting next week, we're going to go back to Wednesday nights. I don't want to be competing live with the Bass University guys. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like the Super Bowl competing with, coronavirus.
Listen, I got to tell you, I think the Bass University is some pretty good content. I'll even tell you, I'm a subscriber to the Bass University. And Jimmy, what's up? Like, you're looking at me like you're not.
No, because you're on Travis's show. I'm like, oh my god.
Listen, I've already given him his hand job on the day. Trust me.
Nice.
Listen, I've already said it. I got my baits. I got my whole rod reel set up. It's a combination between Travis and Epic Eric. Like, you guys did the Swim Jig show. It's what worked for me. But I will tell you, I think that Bass University will provide an angler secrets that they will not learn from other people.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah, no, they absolutely will, and they will give you tips and tricks that and every angler is different, and they constantly bring in some new pros all the time that will talk about different things and put their own spin on it. And you and I and everybody else get an opportunity to go out and use it. So it's some incredible content. It's a lot of secrets these guys give out, and I'm sure it's not all of it, but it's not bad. It's good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't compete with that.
All right, so we're getting a lot of good. Yeah, Wednesday nights, Derby night. I know, I was thinking Thursday, but Thursday nights, Derby nights too. We just got to stick with something here. So next week, I'm trying to get a couple bait companies on, which we will. I had to get Tom on tonight. Why not?
Here we are, Eric. Road trip.
Yes, you guys are. When I get to my house in 2 weeks in New York, I'm hoping I'm going to have sufficient internet connection. God, I hope so. But I'm bringing everything imaginable with me, so hopefully we'll be okay to do live from New York this summer.
I really want to go fishing with you, Travis.
Okay, we will. We will.
I would like to go fishing with Tom. I just like to go fishing.
Let's
Tom's
do it,
fucking
man.
fun to fish with.
Tom is?
Tom's fun. I have never, there's not one single tournament partner this year listen, Eric is fun. We have a blast fishing. Eric knows his shit. He's dialed in. I can always count on Eric, except lately, I mean, he breaks some fish off every once in a while, which I don't understand, but whatever. Snakeheads, maybe. I don't know. But Eric's fun. I love fishing with Eric. Mike was fun to fish with last week. Tom, first time we fished a tournament. I know we fished on the St. Lawrence together before, but that was fun. Tom drives like a badass, dude. I was scared for my life in that tournament, just so you know. Tom, we're going to the flats. You ain't got to run out there like we're trying to win the Classic.
Come on, man.
Dude.
Every cast counts, man.
Dude,
every
it was
minute
bad.
counts.
It was bad, dude.
I chilled out.
It was a solid boat, but you were taking the waves pretty. Like, I would have been like 40 just on the steering wheel like this.
Listen, yeah.
You were more like this, dude.
I don't know, man.
That's all I'm saying. And I'd love to fish a tournament with Jimmy someday.
Me and Eric have had wonderful fishing trips together. Yeah, we did.
I know you guys did.
We have a blast too. It's fun.
It's fun. I love fishing with peeps I love. You know what I mean? Like the core group of guys, and you always get, listen. Last week in the Ike tournament with Mike, it was fun fishing with him. That dude was. I didn't show it, but he had me cracking up inside a lot of times. Like he was a funny dude. Like some of the stuff he says, he reminded me of myself. Like a dry humor, but only certain people get it. Like, I got it. It was fun fishing with him, even though the day sucked. And it was like, can you imagine, dude, me knowing I got to go back to weigh-in. I'm a guide. I fish out here every day, and I don't have a fucking fish down south.
I would have waited until everybody left the ramp and then pulled out. That was you.
We didn't care.
Yeah,
dude.
Travis,
It was fun.
like, I got to tell you, like, fishing with you in a tournament, like, I can imagine, like, it could go really sideways, like, based on how the performance of the day is going.
Yeah, I
like,
agree.
Or is that when you just have some random co-angler, you start losing your shit?
Normally, when I have the co-angler is when, yeah.
If it's not going good, you'll let your emotions out. Like,
Well, he blames it on the co-angler.
No, I don't. It's more, no, I just get mad at myself, dude. I talk out loud a lot on the boat. Maybe Mike, I know Mike's watching right now. He could probably attest. I said some weird things from time to time. I was talking about other people and boats and things he probably wouldn't get.
Dude.
Yeah, things he wouldn't get. I know, don't I?
Yeah, you do, man. I can't even. You are. As what do you mean you don't know?
No, I don't know who they are. I just talk shit about them.
You absolutely talk shit
About the other boats, yes. But I don't know who they are.
No,
They could be the nicest guy, or they could be a friend of mine, and I don't know who they are.
Dude, but don't you think that could get in your head?
It does, but I like it that way, dude. I love it.
I don't know. Like, what if you were just not thinking about other people?
Remember when you hit me? Remember when you hit me in the head with that chatterbait?
Fucking took the hat right off.
Right, and I said, don't fucking pay no mind. I said, this is what fishing's all about. I said, it happens. This is part of fishing. I expect you to hit me with your bait. Most people would freak out right now. I'm not. Keep it cool. There's other people looking at us. Keep throwing that chatterbait. Right?
Definitely.
Did I not say that?
You said that verbatim, bro. Like, the fact that you remembered that phrase feels like you probably said it once before.
In my mind, the whole time I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, Epic Eric would have fucking punched me right now. Another guy would be like, oh, I'm bleeding. I fucking kept fishing, and I let everyone around me know that didn't fucking faze me. Right?
I don't know if I want to go with him, Tom.
Dude, and you know what? I got that rod right upside the head at some point. I don't know when it was, but I got it right back. But yeah, you weren't having it, man. You were like, dude, we're both fishing in the front of the boat. Don't put your ass in the back of the boat.
And I said, don't duck. I said, do not fucking duck. Don't show these other anglers out here weakness. We are gonna fucking catch them today.
Dude, you are
a
you are special.
I love it, dude.
How'd you make
love
out
it.
that day?
We did all right. We got a check, bro. Come on.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. I didn't
Hey,
get
Tom,
home till
how
8
about
that
winning a
night.
tournament with your father?
I'll be right back. Bathroom break.
Yeah.
Think about this. Travis has fished with his father. You know, of course, my father, we have fished millions of team tournaments together. And winning a tournament with your father is the best, dude. The best.
Yeah, we've won like, I think, one smaller tournament together. We placed a couple times together, and I'll tell you what, fishing with my dad, this tournament. I mean, we've definitely had tournaments where things aren't going good. I want to do something, he wants to do something different. We totally are not on the same page. We've argued, we've disagreed on things. And that makes it really tough to do well in a tournament when that happens. Your head's out of it. You're not making good decisions. You're not having fun. This past weekend we had nothing but fun, man. We didn't overthink it. We just committed to where we were going to be. We cycled through our confidence baits and we made some adjustments along the way that put some key fish in the boat. And we had a blast. And even at the moment where we totally screwed up the cull. With the last hour to go, we're holding a 2.5 when we threw a 4-pounder over the side of the boat. Like, that's some dumb shit right there. Like, you're fishing for a boat in definitely one of the biggest tournaments we've ever fished in against 140 teams that are just totally stacked to win this thing. Like, you don't do that, and we did it. But you know what? Like, no one spun out about it. We had fun, man. We were just, and then you know what? 5-10 minutes later, we caught ourselves a 3.5, got rid of the 2.5, and we were back in action. So it was, it's all good. We kept it together, and that's probably why we won it.
Yeah, it is. You're probably right. I mean, it's usually a lot of those crazy situations where you think you blew it and then you didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've done some stupid shit on the boat too. I remember one time I was culling a fish, and I'm culling him, and I'm looking at it, and the boat's rocking. I'm like, okay, he's a little bigger. I took him off, and I threw him right in with the fucking cull tag in his mouth. There he goes, swam down with the cull tag. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I was so excited. Yeah, right out of the boat with the cull tag, like a big bobber hanging.
Did you ever show up to the weigh-in with 6 fish in the bag?
Never done that. I never done that. Nope. Travis,
you?
No.
Okay. I've thrown my pliers over after I cut my line, threw the pliers out, and God's honest truth. I tried it. I'll never forget. I'm out on the flat one day, and I just bought these buzz baits from. Do you remember who was the gray hair guy? Travis Ross. What's his last name? His last name is Ross.
I don't
Had the
know.
Mustang. You know him, Tom? Here's the Ranger. He was the one that had gotten into the accident with Will. What was his name? Anyway, he used to sell buzz baits and these spinner baits, and they were expensive. So I'm a big black buzz bait guy. I love black buzz baits. I don't give a fuck what time of the day it is, what color it is. If it does, black is the only color buzz bait I'll throw. So, dude, I got these brand new buzz baits, right? And I'm like, oh, I can't wait. I tied the knot, right? I clipped it. I threw the buzz bait overboard, and I had the cut right in my hand, Tom. I cut it. I cut the wrong side and threw the buzz bait over.
That's happened. Yeah. In fact, it was a little while ago, but I remember my dad. We both had our boats in the water. I don't know where we were, but I was throwing him a couple chatterbaits, and from my boat to his, and there was probably like, I don't know, 8 feet of water between us, but I was just going to throw them into his boat, and the hooks totally got caught up on my hand. Like $40 of chatterbaits just went straight into the drink, dude. Just what the hell, man. So yeah, like we've all done dumb things like that.
That's crazy. Hey, by the way, your dad's on the chats right now.
Who?
John.
John who?
John Nee.
Dude, he's a big winner, man. Let me tell you something about John. Let me tell you something about my father.
John Nee, Papa Dukes?
Yeah, that dude, in any tournament we fish, and I don't know what it is. I think it's just wisdom, experience, more time on the water, more time with a fishing rod in his hand. But that guy will catch the biggest fish. Always. Like, very rarely do I catch the biggest fish in a 5-bag tournament.
Pop's always good for a big one, dude. Always.
It was no different this past weekend. I think he probably weighed in 3 of the 5 fish, man. Like he was definitely on it. So,
Barbara wants to know, guys, what's the heaviest 5 fish limit you heard of winning a tournament out there? I think about 3 years ago there was a 30-plus pound bag out of the sassafras, right?
That's right.
Do you remember that, Jimmy?
How much?
30, close, right at 30 or just over 30?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Out of the sass.
For real?
Wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, 30 pounds. Probably 3 years ago now. 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Tom, 24 right now. Post spawn. Keep that in mind. If that was a spawn or pre-spawn fish,
they wouldn't have been in the same place.
You'd have been but you would have had a 28, 29 pound bag.
Yeah, but you guys got to remember that we didn't even talk about this, but the flat or the whole upper Chesapeake, if that's what you want to call it, I've never seen so many giants than I've seen this year, and I'm talking people just posting shit on Facebook, just dock stories, 8-pounders. I mean, there's an 8-pound story somewhere in every fishing group, that fishes the upper Chesapeake Bay, and that has not been the case. So this year is something really, really special. So to see a 24-pound bag post spawn is very special too. But I think there's a reason for it. These fish are definitely bigger.
Yeah, they're eating.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody have a 9-1 this year? Didn't Joey Thompson catch one over 9 this year on the Chesapeake?
No, 8.5. It was. I know he caught an 8.5. He might have caught one over 9, but I was out there that day. He caught an 8.5, and it was a beast, man.
I think John Venor got one a couple years back, 9-1 or 9-2.
Yeah, almost 10.
Yeah, big one. Makes you want, don't it?
Well, yeah, and it's.
But keep in mind, last year at this exact time, 18 pounds won a BFL.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're not a team. It's different.
It is. I agree.
The weights should be lower in a draw tournament.
I agree.
I'm saying the fish are bigger this year. I'm saying there's something healthier about the population or the weight of the fish. They're just eating better. There's maybe it's cleaner water. It's a product of bait fish or whatever it is, but they're eating better.
Yeah, it is a it's a fun fishery. I don't know. I prefer a lake, man.
Me too, Travis. I'm with you.
I do. I'll be honest.
I love
with
lake
you.
fishing.
I love lake fishing too. It's
Man,
more
I
consistent.
love it, dude.
You can learn it a lot better. The guys that are always on top. So here's the difference, I think, between the really good anglers out there and the so-sos. So the really good angler is going to be able to capitalize on the grass bite, but they're going to be able to know when the grass bite isn't on and go fish hard cover. And I keep going back to Centaur because I think Centaur's probably the best angler out there right now. I do. Yes, he's
On the Chesapeake?
on the Chesapeake. I do. And because, he knows how to catch him in the hardcover. Yeah, he didn't have a 24-pound bag, but he had a 20-plus pound bag. And he always does in those types of tournaments. So I don't think that's what makes a better angler on the tidal water. It's not because you're the best grass angler. It's because you can make those adjustments. My adjustment when my mind tells me it's not going to happen is to run as far away as anyone. And that, Centaur stayed. And in my mind, it was, if I stay on hardcover up close, there's going to be so many boats, which I hear wasn't the case. Everybody was on the flats, and most of the hardcover was left wide open. On any given Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with a guide trip, I can go on the hardcover and bust up a pretty good bag. But when you get people on top of people and you try to go to your next spot and there's a boat on it and you have to adjust quickly, that gets a little tough for me. And
That never bothers me, Travis. I pull in right behind somebody.
I know. You'll throw your little shaky worm. And
No, whenever I'm throwing it, I just know that when you know the docks.
No, I get that, and the spots I know, the spots I know, I don't leave until I get a bite. You know what I mean? Because I know if this place sucks, I'm gonna go somewhere else, and there's gonna be a boat on it. So my best bet is to stay here and grind it out until I get that fish. So that's how I work the hardcover. And it's different, guys. I know a lot of you guys aren't from the Chesapeake Bay. Our hardcover has boats. Everything on the Chesapeake Bay looks like it should hold fish, but it doesn't. There's specific areas. There's better areas than most. And when you know those areas, the problem is so do a majority of other anglers. And so it's not like other places in the country where you could just go and fish the moment on hardcover. You can't. It's spot specific on hardcover. Would you agree with that statement, Jimmy?
Yeah, I mean it's a spot on a spot when you're fishing hardcover there.
On the Chesapeake, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're not the Chesapeake.
You're not pulling up to another. You're not running a pattern of shallow docks on the Chesapeake.
No.
No.
I'm pulling up to a certain pole. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, and that's why it doesn't bother me if, say, someone was in there for, they'll come in, they'll fish it, and they'll leave. I see how fast they're fishing it,
They fish way too fast.
I mean, now if I can dissect the dock, I mean.
Hey, the day before, Eric and I went into a marina, well-known marina. And we fished it pretty fast but slow, if you know what I mean. We wanted to see if there was any potential there. And, of course, he was throwing his little, I don't know what he throws. This weird shit. Zoom worms with weighted heads and whatever. Orange dyed tails. And he was shaking it, and finally he got a good one. But it wasn't... It was one of those things where if you stay there all day, you might get 5 or 6 bites. But that's why Centaur's so good, because he knows that. He's not probably catching a lot of fish at times. He's getting 7, 8, 9 bites a day. But they're the right ones.
I can't say I'm very good at that. No. So no, I would say you're right. I think Mike's definitely one of the best fishermen on the Upper Bay, and very consistent. I think John Venor's up there too. I mean, that guy can bust up a bag anytime.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would
I'm
say those
still
two guys.
waiting for Johnny to come in with a big bag. I mean, he's with the superstar non-boater, who should be a boater, Duarte's, right?
Dude, I'll tell you, man. I mean, that's
that dude is
Who?
your worst nightmare. If you're an angler.
Michael Duarte. Yeah,
Is
that
that who
kid
he
can
fishes
fish,
with?
yeah.
Yes, dude. That's like, I think. Well, they fished together a little bit last year, probably a couple years, but they're every tournament, and I'm just waiting for. I'm shocked when they don't win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what? I mean, I think they had a good weight in this last tournament too, but man, I don't know what it is about. Listen, Johnny's good. Duarte's like, he's a young angler that's got a lot of potential, a lot of good fishing ahead of him.
I think he's past potential. This dude's good.
I mean, yeah. My point is, he can go whatever direction he wants in the fishing industry. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's this?
Michael Duarte. He's Johnny Duarte's brother, but Johnny's just the same, man. I mean, these two kids are, I don't know what part of Maryland they're from, but they're lights out, man. I'm betting on those kids to win anything on the Upper Bay, Potomac. I mean, they're really good. They're really good.
I don't know if I know. Do I know him, Travis?
You might have been out of it a little too long.
Yeah.
Jimmy hasn't been around in the last 3 years.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years. 18.
Before the good grass went away in the lower
Before
reaches of the bay.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been out in the bay.
I'll be honest with you guys. Jimmy and I connected and we shared some information midweek, and things have changed, dude.
Yeah.
They have.
Oh, I believe you. But the same docs are still there. I mean, they didn't change.
The fish changed.
You're crazy sometimes.
Come on,
it does, though. I agree. It does change, but I would have thought so.
Just saying.
I'm just simple. I'm just a simple kind of guy. I don't overthink it, bro.
You don't.
Nah.
Yeah. If my tackle box, my baits that I bring out, it's pretty. You don't need a lot on the Chesapeake.
Don't you get confused?
No, I don't anymore. I used to. I'd have 8 different types of sweet beaver colors on me.
Oh my God! You only need 2.
I know, dude, but that's how it used to be for me, dude. And
sprayed grass, a California 420. What else do you need?
That's right. Speaking of that, I can't get into that. I did get California 420.
Sprayed grass. Tom, you like sprayed grass?
You know what? Screw it.
Nah.
Because I don't care. Should I bring something out right now, guys?
Break it out, man.
I can't.
Tom,
Just
have you ever
break
seen
it out,
sprayed
dude.
grass? Tom, have you ever seen sprayed grass?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Color. What color is it?
It's got, it's like.
I'll do it. I'm smallmouth crush. I don't give a.
Wait.
Like a what?
Is he getting all bent out of shape because we're talking about this?
About what? Sprayed grass?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Who? I was fishing sprayed grass and he was shitting yellow, dude. Like in his diaper, you know what I mean?
Sprayed grass it's like half purple, half light green with like a blue fleck. I don't know what the hell's in it. Green fleck.
You're close, yeah.
So I'm fishing a lot of. I'll be fishing in upstate New York, and there's some good largemouth.
It's really good in upstate New York, by the way.
In the grass.
In the grass.
I just got a big order of California craw color.
California, that's got that like muddy brown red flake in it.
You see the Z-Man?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all you're getting. That's pretty good.
Well, wait a second. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Z-Man makes really good baits, and I like to throw them.
Which one were you holding?
Those were the. They just make a lot of good plastics that I'll look forward to using.
Okay. Nothing else you can share about that?
That's it. They make a lot of good plastics, dude.
Tom, listen, I'm gonna head off, guys. Tom.
All right, we're gonna end this thing. Listen,
thank you so much.
I went too far tonight. Just now, I went too far.
What?
I should end this thing right now from what I just said.
I'm ending it before you do because I got to roll.
I know.
Again, Tom, and to your father, you guys are awesome.
Good luck. Yes, thank you, Tom,
Jimmy,
John.
Thank you,
buddy.
Appreciate it. Travis, thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks to all the viewers, the questions.
Man, they're great viewers. Awesome viewers. Guys are great.
I'll tell you what. I gotta say this before you go, before you cut me off. But this channel, it will make a difference in anybody watching it. You guys do talk about some legitimate things. You guys have already brought some key baits that got me a win this weekend. So
cool.
Appreciate what you guys are doing. Keep doing it.
We will. And I look forward to fishing with both of you guys this summer.
We got it.
We have to.
I know.
And then we'll go live right afterwards.
Be good, guys. Deuces.
See ya.
See ya.
Later, guys.
See ya.
See ya. No! Go angler, you won't catch shit today!
Travis's band is called Go Angler Hell.
I'm lightheaded, bro. Pretty good.